Hello and welcome back. I'm been working on the Oscar tank this week, and I'm waiting for plants to come in. Plants have been this tank's thing for the week, and I finally got my last batch of them in. And I wanted to show you the arrangement that I'll say we came up with. We, as in me and the big girl. Now, she, like most ladies, is very particular about how she wants her house organized. I've come to notice. And if you look back when I got the first set of plants a couple days ago and put them in, I staggered them all out, kind of made it look like leafy grass that they could swim through. Well, she decided that was unacceptable, and she started stacking all of those, whatever they are, jungle veil seaweed things, pretty much where you see them now. That's one spot where she started stacking plants. She didn't stack a plant here at this wooden thing. I wanted to put a couple there. Apparently that wasn't acceptable either. She moved them out of the way. And yeah, she started throwing plants all up in the corners. So I went back in, I put things where I wanted them. No, she put things back in these locations. So she's very adamant. She has a floor plan. She wants things a certain way. She wants her area open so she can do her circuit. She wants it. She doesn't want to swim through the plants. Maybe they're uncomfortable on her belly because they were plastic. Put a couple silk ones up front here. This one she finds acceptable. She will not move it. She likes it there. So we're good. The other one I wanted up there is this one with the holy leaves. She doesn't like it. First time I put it here, she moved it, threw it over there on the pile. And I was putting in this last batch of these little leafy guys. I put this back over here, and while I was in the tank, I wish I was recording it, she came over, picked it up, and threw it back over there. As like normally she gets away from me and pouts. She saw me doing that. She swam over to me, picked this plant up, and threw it back right there. So I planted it right there and left it. And so now I've just closed up the tank, and they're inspecting the new plants. You can see she's going around. She's having a look at where I've put them. I basically put them all along the periphery because she doesn't want things in the middle of the tank. And I think it kind of looks good there. You get this, little ring of nice silk leaves. And the silk plants look more real. But the plastic plants are more cheap. So I've tried to blend them up to get the best result I can without spending a fortune. If you bought all silk plants, you can really set up like this. All silk would probably cost me hundreds of dollars. So I probably spent about $60 on this, which is pretty good. But I really had to fish through Amazon and online stuff to find cheap ones. I'm waiting to see if she reorganizes or moves things, because if she does, then I'll just fix that too until she stops. But yeah, she's a fussy girl. She wants things a certain way, and I think right now we've got things in an acceptable fashion. Nobody else tries to reorganize anything. I mean, this one here will throw rocks around a little bit. See those rocks on the pad? I think that was this one. And but she's a big home decorator for sure. System's rocking the world. I was thinking of doing a water change on it today, but I think I'll do it tomorrow because it just looks great and it's not really necessary. Water's clear, but the bubbles are starting to show me signs. They're not bad, but I'd probably still wait several days looking at that. I like when the bubbles hit the top and they're gone. Like, that's when you know you're fucking on the ball, you know? This isn't bad. This isn't bad. I'm just OCD about it. It's a good thing. It's a good thing for the fish to have the OCD over certain things like that, because then you know you're on your game. This male's just gorgeous. He definitely came in here with a chip on his shoulders and some aggression issues. He was having those issues at his last home. But this environment seems to be sorting him out. Being with a large group of other Oscars has turned this wants to kill everything in the tank fish into a docile version of the big girl. He's basically her number two. She calls the shots. If he goes overboard, she's like, no. She'll go up, start nudging him. And if anyone else nudged him, he'd rip them apart. But he knows he no contest. See, he's definitely the dominant male in the tank, and I think that's the equation with Oscars. I think you need a big female to pull this off. If you just got a bunch of males in your tank, that's why people see all the fighting. If your males are bigger than your females, then your females don't intimidate the males, so there's no one to stop them. And it's my big female that keeps the peace. She's the queen. She's the queen. And Mother Nature makes female Oscars typically bigger than the males. That's why she's so huge. Sexual dimorphism in Oscars and many fish favors the female. And that's for a reason, because the females are the kings and the queens, or whatever you want to call it. They're the top dog. They're the alpha. And they're also more civilized, better leaders. And that's why this tank's working. She won't even let them attack the little, those little silver dollars. There's a couple of fish in here that thought about eating them, and they're small enough to eat. But when one of them made a move, she came right up on him, and basically told them not to. And then he cowered up at the top of the tank. He was up on the rim after he tried. She came right up on him. He went sideways up on the rim and just cowered, like a dog would to an alpha. Exact same thing. It's like, it's pack mentality, and they have it. They definitely are displaying it. There's a structure to them, and I think I lucked out. My first, I got her free from someone who needed to rehome, and she was mutant big, and I was like, oh my god, but cool, so I'll do it. And good move. If you want a tank like this, either I'm just lucky and all of my Oscars are cool Oscars, but I know that's not the case. I've taken on a couple Oscars that were fighting and aggressive. I even had this guy, this one here, grew up with me. It wasn't the size of a Bic lighter like the other two, but it was a little bigger. And it got aggressive for a while in the other tanks because it was only with one or two Oscars, and it was beating everything up. I threw them all in here. I had my Oscars separated in smaller tanks, in pairs and groups of 2 and 3. They were fighting. I threw them all in here. They stopped fighting, and that was before the silver dollars came. Then I added the silver dollars, which was, in stocking terms, just insane. But I have a unique system, and my system can handle these stocking levels, so keep that in mind. I know there's going to be new people watching the video. That's why I brought that up. I don't like repeating myself, but the vast majority of the people that watch my videos are not subscribers. We're somewhere in the neighborhood of it hovers between 12 and 17% for returning viewers, and everyone else is a new viewer. we're running between 30 and 50,000 views a month. We're getting up into that range now, so things are moving right along. Channel should be monetized shortly. Like it's exponentially. It's kind of snowballing. It's getting the subscriptions are still slow, but they're getting faster and faster, several a day, and but the views and the watch hours, they're spiraling. They're going like they're snowballing. They're getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger as each day goes on. So I don't know much about this, satisfying the algorithm thing, but clearly, I'm making the videos. I'm putting in the time. This world's about doing the work, so I'm trying to do the work and see what comes of it. But it's most importantly about my hobby and tracking my hobby, and that's what I'm doing. I'm making a video log, and there'll be a day when I can't do this anymore, and I'll always be able to come back here and watch my videos and remember, and that makes me happy. Just knowing that it's going to be there makes me happy. There's not much of anything else will be there probably, so you gotta enjoy what you got while you got it. And I'm enjoying myself. Look at those beauties. Little bite-sized silver dollars in a tank full of freaking, these fish are misunderstood. They are misunderstood. Everything I read, it's just like the discus. Everything I read, all the research I did, led me to this view on these fish that basically had them. They're piranhas, but they're bigger. Oh my God, they're gonna tear everything apart, and it's all nonsense. It's all freaking nonsense. Don't be afraid of these fish. Just like I say, don't be afraid of discus. I've seen all kinds of advanced fish keepers that won't touch either of these two fish because they've bought into the dogma. Keep an eye on my tanks. Keep an eye on my tanks. If my discus tank hasn't shown people a thing or two by now about what's being said out there versus reality, my Oscar tank's going to show you. It's going to show you the same thing. I bet you. Right now, the only fish I'm concerned with, and look, he's out and about now. He's starting to come around. He's not staying like Mr. Territory in the corner. Adding these plants might have fixed him, and I really hope it has, because he's really enjoying those leafy low plants, and it might be giving him a sense of security that he requires. I've never seen him do this sifting stuff either. He's getting out and he's moving around, so now he's playing with them. I don't care, whatever it is, it's good to see this fish doing something instead of being in the corner and acting like a grump. And that's what I mean. They come in here dysfunctional, and then they come around. The pack tempers them. So these fish, very, very, either I'm misunderstanding what I'm talking about here, or these fish are largely misunderstood by the general public, and a lot of the stuff you're going to read in the forums, a lot of the videos you're going to watch on their temperament and how you have to keep them. I don't know. I should not be getting away with this, according to all of that information. This tank might be more peaceful than my discus tank. I'm actually going to say that. I think they get along better than my discus do. And my discus are doing great. They're at peace. Don't get me wrong, but the discus pick on each other more than these guys pick on each other. Hands down, bar none. And I'm shocked. I'm shocked to learn this. I'm absolutely shocked. So, what am I doing different? What am I doing different? I'm not doing anything different. I assume everyone aims for super high water quality, and super high water quality leads to comfort, and comfort diminishes aggression, and happiness diminishes. Being well fed. If I'm not fed, I get hangry. I mix the word hungry with angry, and you get hangry. I get hangry when I'm hungry. I'm sure they do too, right? Keep them fed. You keep their temperature down so they don't want to breed. I don't know if that's actually going to stop them, but it should. And clean water, the right temperature, good food. They don't even want to touch my little snack size silver dollars. They're like silver dollar pancakes, just waiting to be eaten. Been there now. This is their third day. I think, though, the big ones being in there kind of like camouflages them. They see the size of the big one can't be eaten. The little ones, they might perceive them as big ones that are just further away. But quite honestly, if they wanted to eat them, they'd be gone. And she, the big girl, nope, she told everybody no violence. So, if I wake up in the morning, one of those is missing, I'll pull the other three, but I had a hunch it was going to work out. And it's better off for me to get those fish in this tank because they can be with the big dollars, and 4 silver dollars isn't enough for a schooling fish. They all feel better now that they're together, those silver dollars. Like, complete instinctive attitude change. Couldn't be happier with this tank. I hope it stays like this. Maybe this is temporary luck. I don't think so. I think it's dialed in. I think these fish have come to an understanding with each other. And that's about the worst of it right there, A little bit of rank stuff, and then it stops. I think the worst problem I've had is if the silver dollars get spooked and they go too fast, and the Oscars don't know why, the Oscars will get spooked. That's the worst problem I'm having. The honest to God worst thing that's happening in this tank, and it doesn't happen too often. But the silver dollars can get startled by walking in the room too fast or something, and then there's a reaction from everyone because that's how fish work. So, well, yeah, one last look at the plant setup, and we'll end this video. I could sit here all night and just point my camera at these tanks, make videos, but that's just impractical. And no one would want to watch them. But one day, I'm going to enjoy these longer videos. One day, other people may too. Just gorgeous. What a beast. It's nice. I used to be terrified of these fish. Even when I started keeping them, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to have so many problems. And then this happens. Feels so good. Ciao for now.